Right, good evening, everybody. I'll declare the meeting open. You may have noticed there's a spare seat next to me, on my left. Our acting mayor is indisposed, late air on a shoot, I should say. So I'll need from councillors present someone to nominate to chair the meeting, please.
May I nominate Councillor Reynolds?
Certainly. Do we have a seconder for that?
Yeah, second.
I'll put that to the vote then. All those in favour? Councillor Reynolds. Round of applause. Round of applause.
Okay, thank you everyone. We'll start tonight's meeting. I'd like to thank all the councillors, staff and community members for joining in tonight's meeting. We've got item 1 is attendance. We've got everyone present apart from Deputy Mayor Councillor Woolley, who put us into 2.0, apologies. 3, after reviewing tonight's agenda, does anyone wish to declare a pecuniary interest? Silence is noted, thank you. 4.0 is the confirmation of the minutes of 23rd of April 2024. If I could have a mover and seconder, move Councillor Nichols, second Councillor Gatehouse, and I invite the floor to any questions or discussions. Silence, thank you. I'll put that to the vote. All in acceptance, Roger. Passed unanimously. Thank you. 4.1 is confirmation of the minutes from the special council meeting on the 7th of May. I'd like to have a mover and seconder. Councillor, I've just gone blank. Breen, sorry. And a seconder, Councillor Gatehouse. And I invite the floor to any discussion. Nothing. I'll put that in to the vote. All in favour? Passed unanimously. Thank you. Brings us to item 5, Mayor's report. It's got here following his successful election win for the Upper House seat of Prosser, Mayor Terry Vincent tendered his resignation. His term as Mayor officially ended on the Thursday of May 2024. I'd actually like to make a statement in saying that it was actually a pleasure working alongside Kerry as he was Mayor, and he did a fantastic job. Certainly our relationship will continue just from a different level, and I wish him all the luck. So yeah, congratulations and good luck, previous Mayor Vincent. Does anyone else wish to add anything? Beautiful. We'll move on to 6.0, supplementary items. Nothing noted. 7.0, council workshop reports. Mover and seconder, please. Sorry. Don't worry about it, no, just noted. .0, councillor questions on notice.
So 8.1 would be.
So 8.1 question on notice is Councillor Mero Sada Devereaux. Have I pronounced that correct?
Thank you.
Do we need to text that?
Yes, you need Councillor Sada.
Yes. Do I need to move it?
Yes. And do I have anyone to second? Councillor Reid, thank you. And Councillor Sada, would you like to comment?
Yeah, thank you. So this question on notice is about improving ratepayers and residents' engagement in the planning process. So in the past year, 2 years really, we've had a couple of instances where we've dealt with residents and ratepayers not knowing really how to navigate the planning process and how to engage in it. So this question has to do with what we have experienced and they have experienced, and on how we can enhance meaningful participation, and so that we reduce the risk of miscommunication or lack of information, and increase the education of everyone involved in the process. So that's the intent of this question, and I thank for the comments. There's obviously a couple of things that the staff members have found here that can be improved. And hopefully we can talk about this in an upcoming workshop and see how we can maybe start discussing those initiatives or in the upcoming month or years improve this. I don't know if anyone would like to comment on this or, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that. We have got the general manager's comment there, which represents that too, saying that further discussion needs to be taken into further consideration. Did anyone else have any comments they'd like to make in regards to that motion? Yes, Councillor.
Thank you. Just further to that, reflecting on the fact that as a regulatory function with planning, we tend to focus within the planning rules. The council has a communication engagement role more broadly, and so perhaps in the comms engagement strategy and the work that we're doing there, that's another opportunity to just reflect on the two hats that we wear and how the two can complement one another through communication. So as we said, for further discussion.
Thank you. Anything further?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just put that up for a second. All in favour? Passed unanimously, thank you. 9.0 is cancel motions on notice. We've got 9.1 motion on notice, Councillor Reid. Move, Councillor Reid.
Thank you.
Second, Councillor Sorell.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Councillor Reid.
Yes, I think this one's pretty self-explanatory as
I
you know.
call out.
Sorry. Thank you. The background information has been circulated and we've talked about this in recent workshops, and given the changes that are happening at the moment, I thought it was timely that we just clarify what the next steps are through this motion, and the general manager's comments have done that, and it's something that we can follow up on over the next 3 months or so in the first quarter of the new financial year. There are lots of examples, some very practical examples that have already circulated, and some others that have been looked into, so it's not as if we're doing anything unusual or difficult. It's more about having the conversation about, okay, what makes practical sense for us as a support for elected members and other people, and just to document it so that it's things that might have evolved out of common practice get written down so that they're available to everyone. That's pretty much what it comes down to. So I'd like to commend that motion to everyone.
Thank you for that, Councillor Reid. Any further discussion? Questions? No? So, yes, Councillor Campbell.
I just note in the general manager's comment how it says that the request policy has been discussed at council workshops and can be developed in quarter 1. Are we saying in this motion that we want it to be developed, or are we going to just discuss it at a later date at workshops?
I'm that council develops a policy, and the response being that it can be done soon.
Could I put a motion motion for this be workshopped further.
Chair, it's almost unnecessary because by extension, in forming up our own local governance policy for our operations with councillors, that it comes to a workshop anyway. It has to come to a workshop before it would go to council for me, so I have to do that because it's going to be a bit of a cobbling together of other examples and just getting it solved rather than for our needs, so we'll cover regardless.
Thank you, General Manager. If there have been no further questions, I'll put that motion for acceptance. All in favour? Passed unanimously. Thank you. Going on to 10.0, work group reports. Mover and seconder, please. Councillor Reid, thank you. And second, Councillor Nichols. And open up the floor to questions. Councillor Marisol.
Thank you. Yes, a question for the general manager, please. About the meeting with facilitator and director of service delivery to discuss the lagoon consultant reports and next step.
Yeah, through the chair. So the final consultant report has been received from Alvin Associates. So they were looking at more of investigating more of the environmental impacts of the proposed outfall options. So we've now got all the consultant reports that we've sought. There's been a meeting held late last week where some staff went down with the red handfish research to their facility and had a discussion around what they're doing and proposing to do, or what they have done as well, and just letting them know that we've got the reports and we'll be providing them to them to review as well. So I propose that I'd like to meet with Jelena as well, as a group discussion with our staff and her staff too, the research staff, and have a discussion around what some of the matters are in those two consultant reports, and then sort of collectively we may, I think it's logical if we then, as between the researchers and staff, brief the council also on where we're at, what next steps may be. I would say the WRL consultancy report was really useful. A bit more definitive as to how to deal with some of the issues in an ecological sense. The other report was pretty less conclusive as to being able to definitively say what may or may not be the better option, or having enough data to be able to say that. So it was a bit frustrating what we got, but we just provided them to the red handfish researchers, and we'll just continue trying to discuss a sensible outcome, or whatever that may be. So probably we'll be in a few weeks' time that we'll be in a position to go and talk to the council laws as a group.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Gatehouse.
Through the chair, there's been a few meetings around the youth engagement and with Why Not and other people. I wonder if is the youth project opening up now that all the information's been pulled together?
I'll handle it to Jess. She's more so than me.
Yes, so we received the report from Why Not, and we've since had a meeting with Lola from Chats Community Fund to discuss what the next stage of the project might look like. So we've got a bit of work to do in terms of looking at the recommendations in the report and drafting up what the next steps look like.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Can I just ask a question, clarification on that? Is this more of a regional approach, or is it just
That's one of the Wine report is a regional approach across Tasman and Sorell and Spring Bay. But that was one of the things that we discussed with Lola around going forward, that working across the 3 municipalities is somewhat challenging in terms of delivery, particularly with regard to some of the recommendations that have been made in the report. So that's something that we need to work through, and it may be that some aspects of some of the recommendations go across the region and some are more Sorell specific, so we need to work through that. But in terms of funding from Tasman Community Fund, they didn't have a strong preference either way in terms of if it was regional or Sorell.
Thank you.
I believe it's good that a holistic approach will in the whole region, as well as both is great. Any more questions in regard to Councillor Schreck?
Yes, thank you. The Dr. Ferry School Association General Manager in the discussion with the speed limit there, I know that's been discussed before, are they wanting a reduction, I take it, and it will be up to state growth?
Yeah, through the chair, there's a range of things they wanted to talk to council about. Speed limit's been one of them, so I'm going to get one of our staff to prepare a memo, formal memo for state growth, to put to them some options for modifying the speed limits from where Lewisham Drive joins Old Fawcett Road through to Carlton River Road. DSG were in the area fairly recently looking at a request of ours to lower the speed limit to 40 km/h shared zone at Park Beach Corner there where the cafes are. But they were of the view that that wasn't warranted. And at that time, this is informal, at that time they were also queried on likelihood of reducing the speed limit to the vicinity of the school, but also up toward the rec reserve where they gravel paths adjacent to the road. They simply weren't convinced that it was warranted, so we'll actually form a more formal assessment with some justification, particular recommendations, and then put that to them to give them a chance to consider it properly. And if they think it has merit, then we'll put it to council forward, because we still need to do that procedurally.
Would the proposed swimming pool opposite help with that argument?
Yes, it should do.
It's, sorry,
That's all right.
just following on that, would the recommendations from the active transport strategy be supportive of that? They suggested speed limits up to 30 km/h even on school areas.
Through the chair, I provide some comments back to the consultants about the 30k an hour. I think it's just likely to state growth improvement. When the default 40 for school zones is extremely low, but it's certainly helpful to use that strategy document to say we're already separately considering the appropriateness of how we treat that entrance into Dr. Ferry as well. So we would utilise it if we can. I don't know to what extent state growth will need any weight, but it's consistent with what we're trying to achieve through there generally.
If I could just add, I noticed council is doing some line marking around the turning circle. Yes. I drop my grandson off regularly, and they're all over the shop, the cars. So let's hope it improves things.
That was a request from the association. I mean, previously I'd said no because I wasn't feeling very generous, but that was last year. Jess was unimpressed with me, but I thought it's a fairly small thing we can do to assist, and I wouldn't realise it already done, so hopefully it will help it. There's something about school drop-off zones and driving along that seems to not, they can't seem to join up, so.
I'll let you know if there's any improvement.
As long as you didn't have an accident, there, we'll be all right.
Thank you, councillor Torres. Councillor Ray.
I'd just like to note that I'm on the Dulwich School Association, although not directly involved in the dealings with council on these. I have been in years gone by, over the last 15 years, and it's just, well, heartening in a way to reflect on the progress that's been made over that time in terms of safer road crossings, and a lot of the work council's done in that vicinity to make it safer for kids to walk and ride to school. And it's great to see the newer generation, if you like, of parents getting involved and doing their bit to advocate as well. So I stood on the corner and counted cars the other day, which was fascinating. 700 and something or other in an hour on the corner of Carlton Beach Road and Carlton River Road, which in the scheme of things is not a lot, but in a local sense sounds like a lot. So the car park, the drop-off zone and those practical things are really fairly simple but really important contributions to improving the safety. So good to see that's happening.
Thank you, councillor Ray. I've just been volunteer week as well. School associations do wonderful things. Okay, well, councillor Gatehouse.
Can I ask, 10.3, media, page 18, there's a comment, Sorell 22, country to coast, signed a licence agreement with SBS to purchase exclusive Australian broadcast rights to Sorell 22. How did that come about and what does it involve to the chapter?
Following the Sorell 2022 launch that we had, SBS must have been informed by somebody that was present there and contacted Joe directly seeking the approval, but because the video belongs to council, Joe referred it to us, and Stacey's just worked through signing the contract. Yeah. I think it's got a lot of work that went into that project, so to get it further.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Mercer.
Thank you. Page 15, I just want to mention that there's in building compliance, there's two written forms of appreciation for the month of April. And I just read through them and they're fantastic. So it's about, so I just want to highlight that it's great to receive thank you and that the staff members have done great work. This is about two staff members doing work with the language in the Lotus Berry Flora Park, which has been placed with a bit of tension before and now with great. I can see with these comments that there's a good working relationship between council and the volunteers there. So I just wanted to highlight that and just praise the staff members that are involved in not just working on that relationship, but also being involved in the work with the volunteers, because that raises the spirit of the people that give their time for free to give sometimes, and they love the place. So I have received also comments like this via email and verbally. So it's great to see it, and yeah, no question, just commenting.
Thank you for sharing. Is there any further questions?
Through the chair, page 33, the Red Ochre stairs access. The comment on 33 is preliminary meeting's been cancelled due to lack of participants willing to attend. And then on 41, it says preliminary meeting has occurred with local stakeholders. Further project progress depending on local stakeholders participating in engagement with council. So is there some clarification?
Through the chair, that was my artistic license getting me confused. I thought that that early meeting hadn't been successful, but it actually had.
Right.
It's the next one's the issue trying to get organised. So that was my my intervention in the, in some of the text which has caused that confusion.
So we don't know when this project will be progressed.
It's been a difficult project to get traction on with all those who have a role in it. It's been a challenge.
Right. So is it in a state of limbo, you might say?
Very much so.
Councillor Campbell.
General Manager, you're meeting about the men shed and the 550,000, that's exciting. Anything else to that?
Through the chair, no, it was through the Prosser election. I got to meet Dave Foster. Just that relevant, I thought I'd mention that, because I'm a local legend. I mean, it's a good outcome. You had a commitment that Labor supplied during the state election, so it's just now a case of working out when the funding may be available, and we've got to work through a bit of a process around, you know, the revising the master plan for that site out there, revising the master plan for Pembroke Park, and just getting things aligned, both in what's to happen and when it's to happen and how it's to happen. So there's still a lot to get squared away, but it will certainly go a long way to assist you with a building upgrade or building provision, but I suspect it won't be sufficient for the whole project, but it's a massive start.
Thank you. And I can't find it now, but there was somewhere in the notes that somebody failed to stop for one of our traffic people at the stop sign. What is that? Was it okay? What happened?
Yes, our staff were all okay, it was reported through the Tasmanian Police.
Yes.
Councillor Campbell, there is a spare printed agenda there, that says you know, the small price.
Thanks. I was like, where is it?
Councillor Reid.
Thank you. Through the chair, on page 34, there's an update about the Sorell Memorial Hall development, and still away meeting the stakeholder group. Who would that stakeholder group be? Does that mean the History Society and Sorell Stage
Yeah.
users? That's interesting. Right. Okay. Thank you. I know the stakeholders have been, some of the stakeholders have been waiting to be asked, so I don't.
I think through the chair, it's more that we've got to initiate it, not the other way around.
Right, okay.
It's that project's taken a bit of a backseat to trying to get the tender done for the jobs hub.
Yep.
So we've got to get that out by the end of this month.
Yep.
And then the same design team will be able to focus on knocking together the tender for that, so.
Great.
Yeah, but we will initiate that meeting.
That might be in the interim, just a heads up on the process might be useful for the stakeholders. So they know what to expect. There was one other thing, and I think we'll look for it.
Does anyone else have any questions while we councillor?
Just a comment, just nice to see the train sheds, and look forward to some sort of opening eventually and community use for it. It's looking good. Thank you.
Thank you.
No,
Councillor
that's
Gatehouse.
I was at Pembroke Park. This is just a comment, it's not a particular question, but I was at Pembroke Park when the BMX track was open for a Come Try Day. And it was really well attended, and those on the BMX were very brave, but they looked like they're having loads of fun, and it looked really professional, and everybody seemed really happy with the facility. So it's nice to see it being used and actually coming together. It's very exciting.
I think through cheerleading, the first competition is this Saturday,
Okay.
and then it'll be open to the public from Monday. So we've put in, sorry to take over slightly, we've put in an Anthony's put in a pedestrian gate, the northeast corners that are facing the football oval.
Yeah.
With some barriers so you can wheel your bike through, but nothing else should go through. So from Monday, it'll be open to the public, so hopefully it'll be well utilised and well looked after. So we gave the club an opportunity to try and corral as many potential members as they could, bit of old school press team, which I think worked well for them, and it was good to hear that there was becoming try days well attended. So I don't know if this set as a state round or what it is, but it's an impressive facility.
Yeah.
It's lucky to be given that opportunity. Councillor Gatehouse, what was your fastest time around the track?
No, I kept both feet on the ground. I was not going on two wheels or launching myself that way.
Next time. Councillor Reid, did you?
No, that's fine, I'll leave it there, thank you very much.
Any other, Councillor Marisol?
Thank you. Yes, on page 29, there's Land Use Planning and Approvals Act. There is a mention there of the holiday accommodation development in Primrose Sands Colony Site. And it says here that funds were assessed to ensure compliance with permit conditions. So is there any update on how the process is going, or is just a mention of that's what they've done?
Yeah, through the chair, it's sort of been in limbo, that application. So we've had confirmation from our lawyers that the interim scheme is the correct scheme to assess it against. So now Shane is waiting on, I think, a little bit more information that they're providing, and then they've provided a sufficient extension of time to do the full assessment. So I actually don't know when it's going to come to council formally, but at least we know that our approach was correct as far as which was the practical planning scheme to assess it against. So
the appropriate is the one that they have presented with, or?
Sorry, say that again.
I'm a bit confused. So the appropriate planning scheme is the one they presented with, or is it the new one?
No, it's the interim scheme. So the new one's the LPS, the local provision schedule. That's the current planning scheme. But the planning scheme we will be using to assess it against is the interim planning scheme. It's the prior planning scheme that.
Which is the one that they applied under.
Yes, because it was, well, however many years ago it wasn't applied, so.
Okay. So they've been, so to understand, the proponents have been asked for further information, and that's what they're doing at the moment. So we're waiting for them to come back with that.
Yeah, and then there'll be an assessment as to if that triggers a need for it to be re-advertised or not, or if it's just minor matters that Shane or others wanted clarified. So we're just waiting for that to come in. So we're not sure when it'll be back to council to form a decision, or make a decision, I should say.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions? No, I'll put item 10, the work group reports up for acceptance. All in favour? Passed unanimously. Thank you. We'll jump to page 41, which is 11.0, petitions still being actioned. This is just for naming, we've got a list of three there. 12.0 is petitions received, which there is none. So 13.0 is land use planning. The Chair advised in accordance with provisions of Part 2, Regulation 25 of the Local Government Meeting Procedures, Regulations 2015, the intention of the Council to act as planning authority pursuant to the Land Use Planning and Approvals Act of 1993 to be implemented. In accordance with Regulation 25, the Council will act as a planning authority in respect to those matters appearing under item 12 on this agenda, inclusive of any supplementary items. Item 13, thank you. 13.1, Sorell Planning Authority minutes. A mover and seconder. Councillor Gatehouse, second Councillor Nichols. Any questions or discussion? No, I'll put those minutes up for acceptance. All in favour? Passed unanimously, thank you. 13.2, development application number DA 2024-67-1. Moved, councillor Reid, second, councillor Campbell.
Oh, sorry, that's why.
I think I answered something unexpected tonight. Okay, and I'll open the floor to, comments. Yes, councillor Marisol.
Thank you. I've already used the shades. Is it the ones that are already installed? Is that right? No? No?
No, through the chair, I have them installed, since their application. No, the proposed shard cells that would normally go to Sparbank, I thought the application's fairly, in my view, at least inconsequential, so I thought it was simple just to plug into this agenda. It's to go over some of the existing play equipment.
Okay. So not the shades that are already, because it says 2 shade structure. That's what I meant. I've used the shades already in the park.
Yeah, you're referring to the shades that are over the barbecue hut.
The blue ones. No, they're new blue shades.
It wasn't noticed saying that the back was going to be closed, wasn't it, last week?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, to install these sheds.
Yeah, they're
There
great.
you go, Chair, we're,
I saw this after and I thought, oh, wow, that was quick.
right.
I think we all agree.
Okay, councillor Reid, did you?
I was going to say they look good.
They look good.
I drove past today.
Yeah, I received great comments from all the parents.
Thank you, I'll have to go down and check them out.
Oh, dear.
I'm glad we're dotting the i's and crossing the t's.
At least it's a good project.
Through the chair, where there's no third party representation, appeal rights and refusal, anyway. I'm happy for us to deal with internally.
Thank you.
But also, I should point out, it's no permit required anyway, so
That's what I was gonna say.
it's A, in the advertising, B, it's just formalising it. It otherwise wouldn't need a permit anyway, so we actually don't need to go to jail this time.
Ground clear. Beautiful. All right, I'll, put that item up for acceptance. All in favour? Passed unanimously. Thank you. They can go ahead and do that. Okay, 14.0 is governance. We've got 14.1, risk management. And mover and seconder, please. Move councillor Reid, second councillor Campbell. Need me to look at your name tag. And I open the floor to discussion. Sorry, page 51.
Thank you. Through the chair, I'll just make a comment really that we've been involved in workshopping our part of this, and there's a great deal of work that's gone into this behind the scenes, and it's good to see it all come together. I think the summary report and the introduction in the policy explains it really well. And the other thing to note is that from particularly councillors and senior staff point of view, this puts the processes in place, but it needs to be an ongoing strategic conversation for us all around how to manage those emerging risks, and this gives us a process to do it. So thank you to Oliver and everyone who's been involved in putting it together.
Thank you, councillor Reid. Is there any further discussion or questions? No, I'll put that item up for acceptance. All in favour? Passed unanimously. Thank you. Page 58. We've got 15.0, infrastructure and assets, nothing to report. 16.0 is community relations. 16.1, community grants program. I could have a mover. Thank you, councillor Tranius, and second, councillor Greathouse. And I open the floor up for any discussion. Yes, councillor Morrison.
Thank you. I just want to say a comment to this grant. What the Marion Day Coast Care group, what they do with creating and maintaining this space that's widely used, not just by locals but visitors, is outstanding. And I can't believe with the such small amount of time they have, money, they have such a great impact. It actually, the space that they create, here actually provides protection to the dunes because people don't walk through, they can actually see them from above. It creates a space for families and visitors to actually take rest in the trip. So it has so many important uses in such a small little space. I think there's a lot of learning from this. It creates education opportunities, enjoyment. Yeah, there's much to learn from this, but it's great that council is supporting this grant.
Thank you. If there's nothing more to add, I'll put that for acceptance. All in favour? Passed unanimously. Thank you. 17.0 is finance. 17.1 executive summary financial report April 2024 year to date. Move that and second that. Move councillor Nichols, second councillor Reid. And open the floor to comment. Councillor Reid.
Just a comment, thank you, through the chair. As we've said many times before, just an appreciation of the work going into this report, and that makes it so, well, relatively straightforward for us to understand our financial position and everything that's happening, and that's a very fortunate place to be as an organisation. So thank you to everyone who contributes to that.
Thank you, well noted. Any further comments?
Just a comment, I think we made 155,000 from supplementary rates. Is that correct, General Manager?
Through chair, if I find that figure, I'll
I'm just trying to find it. Saw it somewhere.
miles down that report. We had one just yesterday as well come through, so it's certainly the benefit of having growth. There's obviously some growing pains that come with that, but I'd much rather be in a situation where our revenue is growing than the opposite effect.
I can't find the data. Anyway, I think I was right. It was 155. And that's only the 2 yearly ones.
Well, they're through, Chair, they get, we can request supplementary rate assessments be done. We tend to package it up when we've received a number of, particularly with dwellings, when they get to occupancy stage, that then triggers the need for that. So it's a bit of a double, for want of a better term, attack from us advising the Mayor General to do the subs, but also they can do them off their own back, particularly if they do when they apply the adjustment factor, which they've done as well just recently.
So the full ones in a couple of years' time, is it?
It will be next year.
Next time.
It should have been done, but it was delayed. We were one of the few councils where it was delayed, the tender, and they applied an adjustment factor instead. So it's next year.
Thank you. Councillor Reid.
Thank you, through the chair, just noting on page 66, the cash reserves from sales and contributions are building up.
And, just a, flagging for future discussion, or explanation about how we're applying those funds in the future. That was all. Presumably through the long-term financial planning and annual budgeting process.
Yeah, through the chair, we've built into the revised long-term financial plan a separate spreadsheet on the new and upgrade capital projects, and within that, we've allocated where funding is to come from, so we can actually pinpoint to particular capital projects if they're being funded through our own cash, or separate cash, I should say, or if it's grant funded, or land sales or public open space, so we can actually, by location, be quite particular, and then keep tabs on what it's doing to that balance.
Terrific.
Thank you. There's no further questions. I'll put item 17.1 up for acceptance. All in favour? Passed unanimously. Thank you. We go to page 84. We've got 17.2, 2023, 2024 capital budget adjustments. I'll move for a second. Move Councillor Joyce, second Councillor Campbell. Thank you. Once again, open the floor.
I'll go and pass it. What page was that?
84, I think it was. Yeah, bottom of 84. Councillor Mercer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If I may ask for clarification as to what exactly it is, maybe the general manager can clarify a little bit that table and in page 85.
Yeah, through the chair. So the top table in page 85 is the best summary. The top figure is what we approved originally in June last year, the total capital budget. We had the next one down at 14,628 is what we approved at the May special council meeting with those two jobs that we dealt with in isolation, or in isolation of the normal meeting procedures, meeting schedule, I should say. So you may recall when we did the mid-year budget review, which must have been February, we adjusted that original 18 million down to around the $14 million mark. And now further to the special council meeting we did earlier this month, we're making a further adjustment. So the next one down at 185,000, so that's existing approved capital jobs where the cost variation is over 10% of the original figure. And then further down, some detail about what makes that 185,000. And then the next one down is with respect to completed capital jobs that we've been able to capitalise. We've got all the costs that come through on those projects. And thankfully on that one, we're at the variation over 10% is in the negative, which is nice. And then the third one at 77,000 is for a brand new capital job, which we hadn't previously approved, which is all grant funded, which is helpful. And then you get the final, that 14.835 is the adjusted capital figure that is now current, if the recommendation is adopted.
So what we are approving is that 185,000, that's below the
Well,
total adjustment, is that?
Yeah, through the chair, it's you're basically adjusting those three lines under the green budget adjustments for request approval. So in effect, you're approving those next three lines, which have the effect of creating, adjusting the 14.628 to 14.835.
Thank you.
Thank you for that clarification. Any further comments? No. I'll put 17.2 up for acceptance. All in favour? Passed unanimously. Thank you. Yeah, flick to page 100.
Can I ask a question before we move? Just a quick question about that.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
So just to clarify, we already approved all of these works, the capital works, correct? So we already approved these adjustments?
No, through the chair, so apart from one project, which is the $77,000 project, all the other projects were approved with either with the original capital budget in June or as part of the mid-year review, or as we've gone through the year, how we're now adjusting this each month. So apart from that $77,000 one, which is I think a couple of guardrail locations which are grant funded, are the Nugent Road guardrail locations. All the other projects were already adopted, approved. It's just actually the budget for each of those, or some of those, is what's changing. Some over, better more under.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, page 100, 17.3, the 2024-2025 fees and charges.
Sorry, Chair, before you get a move to the second, I need to advise of an adjustment that needs to be made just to the description on one. Please, this has come last minute from staffing results on page.
Is this under 17.3 or 17.2?
Am I jumping out? 17.3.
17.3, yeah.
Yeah, so if you, it's minor, but it's relevant, down to page 109. This needs some, this is from signing, this needs a couple of extra words with regards to the stadium, the Southeast Stadium, so the bottom half of the page just needs, there's two tables there, indoor courts, they look similar, but some of the figures change slightly. The bottom two lines of each of those two tables is individual user and the small groups. Just want some words added for each of those two bottom lines in each of those two tables. It's for private bookings only, not for club use.
So the individual user, max of 2 people, and the small groups 3.6.
3.6
people is private use.
Private bookings only, not for club use. That's all. Minor, but relevant.
You need to note that in the recommendation.
Because I've said it prior to and advised council, then it's a revised recommendation if you like, so there's no need to get for something amendment after.
So no amendment required. So 17.3, the 2024-2025 fees and charges, move and seconded, please. Move Councillor Nichols, second Councillor Campbell, thank you. And open the floor to discussion or questions. Councillor.
Just for clarification, the anchor tenants mentioned have a particular right. Who are the anchor tenants?
Southeast Netball Association, Cedar Basketball, and Southeast Soccer.
Okay, thank you. Terrific, thank you.
And there's potential for more anchor tenants to start up, isn't there?
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions?
Through the chair, just, what's the uptake like for the use of the stadium? Is it not a capacity or?
Of an evening, it's quite heavily used and most weekends. We've got Southern Tasmania Netball Association using it for several rounds. Down there we had indoor bowls last weekend. It's been UTAS is utilising it. Yeah, so it's quite, the day use isn't probably like the day used to be higher.
Yeah.
The usage reports are on the work group report. You can see the hours month on month that it's used.
So does the school use it at all?
No.
No, okay. Good, thank you.
I'll just through the chair quick, I was just going through the budget today with Sally and we were
talking about next year's budget, I should say, and we're talking about some of the revenue particulars of that facility, the stadium has a cost setting, which makes it easy to track. And forecasting, yeah, so it's a slight increase next year, but it's around the $130,000 mark for total income associated with it, because there's a lease in place for the kitchen,
Yeah.
canteen, and the various clubs, plus casual hire, etc. So
Yeah, right.
And actually, what we should just clarify, sorry, we were working with Sorell School, to utilise the stadium, but they're not currently using it for the indie school.
Oh, okay, right. Thank you.
Any further questions before I give that to this? No, so we're item 17.3 up for acceptance, all in favour? Passed unanimously, thank you. Looks like we have no more reports, so that brings us to the end of the meeting. 22.0 is questions from the public. If I have any questions, please state your name and your address.
Sharon Follery-Ham, Fawcett, and it has been for 30 years.
thank you.
Sorry, I was just trying to start. A few questions. Firstly, I'd like to thank councillors Marisol and Melinda for attending the community engagement sessions with their services. I think they probably agree with me that the community was impressed with the way the engagement session was handled on all three meetings, both at Dodgers, at Primrose, and at down at Dunalley. It wasn't very good engagement. People were really angry and angry, but thank the councillors for coming, much appreciated. Could I ask too, the federal budget stated that there was going to be money for the Arthur Highway. Do you know anything about this? So I couldn't find anything about it, where that money was going, what it was looking at.
Through the chair, there's money that the state's allocated for upgrades of, I can't think of it now, if it's 20 or 40 or 50 million, it's my bad, sorry, but none of it's been allocated to particular projects, as we just know there was an existing fund for that road, but we don't know what it will be for or when it will happen. So that's,
Now, this was from the federal budget, just handed down. I saw it in the Mercury that funds have been allocated to the Arthur Highway, but I could find nothing about it. That was commented on in the Mercury. Can I ask a question? The men's shelter, with all the kerfuffle with the Mona Club, Women's Club, or whatever it was, are people allowed in the Sorell men's shelter? No, men's shed. Yes.
through the chair, I mean, yes. Yeah, so obviously men are welcome, and they also have days where they encourage women to attend as well.
Oh, that's good.
On Monday.
On what?
Monday.
Oh, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Page 30, you've got that green wheelie bins are going to be handed out, but only to residential areas. Is that correct? So people that live in the country, what happens with us? We just burn, or what happens when there's fire restrictions, no burning at all, and we've got a huge heat?
Yeah, through the chair, the service is being provided principally in residential and rural residential areas. So, for example, where you are, you would not have been part of that catchment. So, the view was taken that those on larger properties are generally able to deal with domestic scale green waste a lot easier than people in the build-up area. There's also a way of trying to minimise the cost as well. So, it's Midway, Sorell, some of the beaches into Denali, but the rural areas in between aren't receiving the service.
So rural areas are not paying for that service, is that correct? Or are we subsidising the people that are getting it?
No, only those who receive the bid pay for that service.
Thank you. Can I ask you too, on page 111, you mentioned the fees for the Sorell Hall. For the hall and the ground for a day, it's $436.50. Is this what the council pays, the market people pay for the hire of the hall on market day? I have asked this before, but I didn't receive a response.
Yes. Yes, it is.
that's what they pay when they use it. All right. Thank you very much.
And Kelly.
I don't know whether I want to say anything, but I would like to know who's going to be the new mayor.
I think there's plenty of people throwing their hat in the ring, so,
Well, whose hat's in the ring? I can't see any hats on the floor yet.
mine isn't.
Yours isn't, right? Anyone else? Stand up and be counted.
When will that be announced?
When's the by-elections?
28th, I think it's the close of nominations.
29th announcement.
29th announcement, so we'll find out soon. Deidre?
On a sticky bit, I'd like to know now. I need to
Dig around.
clear my pens.
Can I ask a question on that?
Yes.
There's a vacancy for mayor, so does that mean we're voting for a mayor and a councillor, or?
It's a vote from mayor and a councillor, so people can nominate just for a councillor position, but the mayor has to hold both positions. If that makes sense. So you have to be a councillor before you're the mayor.
Thank you very much.
Can I just make one comment? I'm a bit disappointed that Kerry didn't come here tonight to say goodbye to us all, and me in particular. I'm upset.
Must have a very good excuse. I'm sure he'll miss you.
And when's he going to open his office?
So,
That's all I've got to say.
we'll have to take that question on notice. Is there any further questions? No? Excellent. Well, that will put us into closed meeting. Thank you for attending tonight. And yeah, we're going to close.
Thank you for having us. Let's go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right there. Thank you.